The first transmission crackled through the static at 3:47 hours, distorted but unmistakable. Overlord, this is Raven 6-1. Multiple heat signatures converging on primary objective. Something's wrong. The voice belonged to Navy SEAL Team 6's point man, already 3 clicks deep into hostile territory along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. What he couldn't see from his prone position behind a weathered boulder was the thermal imaging display aboard the MQ-9 Reaper drone circling 20,000 feet above, where patterns of movement suggested an orchestrated ambush waiting to unfold. Lieutenant Commander Zara Phoenix Blackwood watched the feeds from her station at Creech Air Force Base, Nevada, her calloused fingers dancing across multiple keyboards as she processed data streams that would determine whether 12 of America's finest operators lived or died before sunrise. The mission briefing had been routine: extract a high-value target from a compound near Spin Boldak. Intelligence suggested minimal resistance. But Phoenix's trained eye caught what others missed. The infrared signatures weren't random. They formed a classic pincer movement, textbook Taliban tactics she'd studied during her deployment as an F-16 pilot before transitioning to drone operations. "Control, Phoenix here," she transmitted, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "I'm seeing coordinated movement patterns suggesting prepared positions. Recommend immediate abort." The response was swift and dismissive. "Negative, Phoenix. Mission proceeds as planned. Maintain overwatch." The voice belonged to Colonel Marcus Hayes, a man who'd made his opinion of female pilots abundantly clear during her stint at Bagram Airfield. To him, she was just another diversity hire playing video games from the safety of an air-conditioned trailer. Phoenix's jaw tightened as she watched the SEAL team advance deeper into what she recognized as a killing field. Her HUD displayed the tactical situation with crystalline clarity. 47 enemy combatants positioned in concealed fighting positions, their thermal signatures masked by carefully placed heat shields until her advanced sensor package revealed their locations. The SEALs, moving with practiced stealth through the rocky terrain, remained oblivious to the trap closing around them like steel jaws. Her call sign carried weight she'd earned through blood and fire. During her combat deployment, she'd earned the name Phoenix after surviving a surface-to-air missile strike that should have killed her, limping her damaged Viper back to base on one engine with hydraulics failing. But here, controlling America's most sophisticated killing machine from 7,000 miles away, she was just another voice in the communications loop, easily ignored by commanders who valued rank over wisdom. The display screen flickered as enemy positions updated in real time, painting a picture of imminent disaster that only she seemed to comprehend. On the ground, Staff Sergeant Rico Vasquez felt the familiar tightness in his chest that preceded contact. 23 years of special operations had taught him to trust his instincts, and right now they screamed danger. The compound ahead sat too quiet, too perfect. Raven 6-1 to all call signs, something's off. Too easy. His team leader's voice responded through his earpiece. "Copy, 6-1. Phoenix is providing overwatch. She'll warn us if anything develops." Vasquez grimaced behind his night vision goggles. He'd heard the chatter about the drone pilot, some Air Force princess playing games while real warriors did the dying. What he didn't know was that Phoenix had already identified 17 separate ambush positions surrounding their approach route. Phoenix leaned forward in her chair, studying the tactical display with increasing alarm. The enemy had positioned themselves with surgical precision, machine gun nests covering every avenue of approach, mortar teams bracketing the landing zone, and a reserve force positioned to cut off any escape route. This wasn't opportunistic resistance. It was a carefully orchestrated killing ground designed to eliminate an entire SEAL team. Her fingers hovered over the emergency abort button, knowing that using it would end her career but might save 12 lives. The radio crackled again. "Phoenix Control, provide final clearance for assault phase." Colonel Hayes's voice carried the authority of absolute command, backed by decades of military hierarchy that demanded unquestioning obedience. Phoenix's mind raced through the calculations: wind speed, temperature differentials, enemy positions, friendly locations. Every variable pointed to catastrophic failure. Control, Phoenix. Strong recommend abort. I'm tracking multiple prepared positions surrounding target area. The response was immediate and harsh. Phoenix, you're not paid to think. You're paid to watch and report. Clear the team hot. The SEAL team reached their final assault position. 12 of America's deadliest warriors crouched in the pre-dawn darkness, weapons ready, hearts pounding with the familiar rhythm of combat. Team leader Lieutenant Jake Morrison studied the compound through his scope, noting the suspiciously open approach routes. "Something's not right, boys. Place feels like a mousetrap." His words proved prophetic as Phoenix watched the thermal signatures shift into final ambush positions. 47 fighters with automatic weapons, rocket-propelled grenades, and mortars, all trained on the approaches the SEALs would use. Phoenix's hands trembled slightly as she adjusted her sensor array, bringing the full capability of her billion-dollar aircraft to bear on the developing situation. The Reaper's cameras captured every detail in high-definition clarity, muzzle flashes already beginning to appear as eager fighters tested their weapons, the glint of steel as blade weapons were drawn, the methodical preparation of an execution ground. She keyed her microphone one final time. "Control, Phoenix. This is a trap. I repeat, this is a coordinated ambush with overwhelming numbers. Immediate extraction required." Hayes's response cut through her warning like a blade. "Phoenix, stand down or face court-martial. Team proceeds on my authority." Lieutenant Morrison's team began their approach, moving with the fluid precision that made them legends among special operations forces. Each man carried 80 pounds of equipment, night vision goggles painting their world in ethereal green, suppressed weapons ready for close-quarters combat. They had no idea that 47 enemy fighters tracked their every movement, waiting for the predetermined kill zone before opening fire. Phoenix watched helplessly as America's finest warriors walked toward their deaths, her warnings dismissed by commanders more concerned with politics than preservation of life. The compound loomed ahead, its mud-brick walls and corrugated metal roofing hiding the truth Phoenix could see with perfect clarity. This wasn't a target building, but a carefully constructed ambush site designed to lure American forces into a predetermined killing ground. Her drone sensors painted the tactical picture with devastating accuracy, showing overlapping fields of fire, pre-positioned explosives, and escape routes blocked by additional fighters. She made a decision that would either save lives or end her military career. Phoenix disabled her radio connection to control and switched to the team's tactical frequency. "Raven 6-1, this is Phoenix. Stop movement immediately. You're walking into a coordinated ambush with 47 confirmed hostiles in prepared positions." The response was immediate confusion. "Phoenix, who authorized you on our freak?" Morrison's voice carried suspicion mixed with concern. "Lieutenant, I'm the Reaper pilot providing your overwatch. I'm tracking multiple ambush positions surrounding your route." "This is a trap." The static-filled pause seemed to last forever before Morrison responded. "Show me." Using her laser designator, Phoenix began painting targets invisible to the naked eye but clearly revealed through thermal imaging. One by one, she illuminated enemy positions: machine gun nests camouflaged in rocky outcroppings, mortar teams hidden behind false walls, snipers positioned on elevated positions with perfect sight lines into the kill zone. Morrison's training kicked in as he recognized the tactical signatures Phoenix revealed. "Jesus Christ, how many?" Phoenix's voice remained steady despite the magnitude of what she was revealing. 47 confirmed, probably more in reserve positions I can't identify yet." The SEAL team froze in place as the magnitude of their situation became clear. Morrison keyed his radio to team frequency. "All call signs, we've got a problem. Phoenix is showing coordinated ambush positions all around us. This whole thing's been a setup." The response from his teammates was immediate and professional. They'd survived this long by trusting good intelligence and acting on it decisively. 6-1. How do we get out? Morrison studied the terrain through his night vision, seeing death in every shadow. Phoenix, we need options. Phoenix's mind raced through tactical alternatives as she manipulated her aircraft's sensors to map escape routes. Her years of combat experience kicked in, transforming her from dismissed observer to tactical coordinator. Raven 6-1, I'm identifying a withdrawal route to your northwest. Single file, stay low, move on my mark. She began systematically targeting the enemy positions with her laser designator, not to engage but to track their positions for the extraction. First target illuminated, machine gun nest, your 2 o'clock 100 meters. Second target mortar position, 11 o'clock 200 meters. Morrison's respect for the voice on the radio grew as Phoenix continued revealing threats with surgical precision. Each position she identified matched his own tactical assessment of perfect ambush locations. Phoenix, who are you? Her response carried the weight of hard-earned experience. Lieutenant Commander Zara Blackwood, call sign Phoenix. 2 deployments, 43 combat missions, Medal of Honor recipient. The static that followed carried new understanding. Morrison keyed his radio. Copy, Phoenix. We're listening. Colonel Hayes's voice exploded across control frequency. Phoenix, you are ordered to return to mission parameters immediately. That team will advance as directed. Phoenix ignored the transmission, her focus entirely on the 12 warriors whose lives depended on her tactical expertise. She watched the thermal display as enemy fighters grew restless, their carefully planned ambush disrupted by the SEAL's sudden halt. Raven 6-1, they're starting to move. We need to extract now or this gets much worse. Morrison made the call that would save his team and validate Phoenix's warnings. All call signs, we're extracting northwest on Phoenix's guidance. Move when I move, stay tight, stay quiet. The 12 SEALs began their withdrawal, each man trusting his life to the voice of a pilot they'd never met but who'd proven her worth when it mattered most. Phoenix guided them through the darkness, her sensors tracking both friendly and enemy movements as the carefully orchestrated trap began to collapse. The extraction proved Phoenix's tactical brilliance as she guided the SEAL team through gaps in enemy coverage that existed for mere minutes before shifting patrols would close them forever. Her voice remained calm and precise. Hold position. Patrol moving past your location in 30 seconds. When I give the word, move fast to the rocks at your 10 o'clock. The SEALs moved like ghosts through the darkness, trusting Phoenix's eyes in the sky as she navigated them through a maze of death. Each successful movement validated her tactical assessment and built trust between pilot and ground team. As the team reached relative safety, Morrison keyed his radio with newfound respect. Phoenix, Raven 6-1, don't know how you saw all that, but you saved 12 lives tonight. Phoenix's response carried quiet satisfaction. That's what we do, Lieutenant. Watch over our people. The radio fell silent as the implications sank in. A female pilot they dismissed had proven herself the most competent tactical coordinator any of them had worked with. The aftermath would reshape careers and perspectives, but in that moment, watching 12 American warriors reach safety through skills dismissed by superiors who valued politics over competence, Phoenix felt the satisfaction of a job well done. Her warning had lit up more than tactical displays. It had illuminated the true meaning of service, loyalty, and the deadly cost of prejudice in combat operations. The legend of Phoenix was just beginning. Colonel Hayes faced a court of inquiry within weeks, his dismissal of Phoenix's warnings having nearly resulted in the worst special operations disaster since Operation Red Wings. The SEAL team's after-action report praised Phoenix's tactical expertise and recommended her for immediate promotion. But Phoenix had already made her decision. She was returning to the cockpit, where she belonged, flying combat missions that would cement her legacy as one of America's finest warriors. The sky, vast and unforgiving, had witnessed the birth of a legend. In the silence that follows combat, when warriors count their blessings and remember the fallen, Phoenix's name would be spoken with reverence. Her warning had saved lives, her competence had overcome prejudice, and her legacy would inspire a generation of warriors who understood that courage, wisdom, and tactical brilliance recognize no gender, only the sacred duty to bring everyone home alive.